First things first, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. Today's date is April 14th, and we are doing another weekly Outlook call just to make sure you're adequately prepared for this week. Seeing some potential trade setups, some things that we believe are going to happen and play out in our favor, right? Last week was a solid week, solid week. Had handful of trades go in our favor. Most recently, we're looking at GN, which you guys should already be in. And I was doing a little something new with the option A, option B setups. I already explained it to you guys, but I'm actually sending my setups out as option A and option B's moving forward, just because I feel like that's a way that you're always gonna be able to benefit no matter what. Right. So just with that quick review, then we'll hop into the actual direction of what it is that we're doing. Um, so just looking at the trade here, option A was us respecting the demand zone. Option B is us just slightly overshooting the demand zone. But option A did play out 2.09, 28 pip stop. We targeting 84 pips for our first take profit. And 2.09, as you can see, we did get hit perfectly right here into that lower time frame demand zone. Looking over to the left, right? Obviously, we do have a hezi here. We have a strong hezi because the hesitation did clear lows to the left. If we look here, we do clear lows to the left before we cross over bullish. So that's our hezi crossover. Just seeing how the market switched hands, understanding that now demand should be in control. We see a nice sell to buy candle. Obviously, I've explained this to you guys at length, but mitigation and sell to buy candles essentially is just the market selling before it buys, because the institutions have to hedge against each other in order to, create liquidity and also be able to get into their positions. So just because they took a sell here and they also took a buy, the sell was still in drawdown this entire time. So what they do is they bring the market back to this point where they initially sold from, and this is why it's called mitigation. All right. So they come back to that initial selling point to mitigate this order. And once they close that sell, now we can add more buys to the orders, right? So now they can stack the buys now that they close that sale. So little stuff like that is important to understand, where the orders are, where you should be looking to take trades from. And it also helps you just with your overall patience. I know some people might have been interested in this one or this buy or this buy or this buy or whatever. But just understanding the, true nature of the markets and mitigation and stuff like that, it just helps you overall, get in the market at the right areas. So looking good so far. I think we're up like 70 pips, give or take. We're up about 78, 79 now, currently about 57. So market did retrace a little bit, obviously, with the market closing. But I do expect for this market to open up and continue pushing higher. For at least these first two take profits here, I'm looking at a bare minimum of 84 pips. Really want like 112. And I do think the market can continue from that point. All right. So far, so good on this particular setup. As you can see on the higher time frames, make sure everybody's muted. So obviously on the higher time frames, we see that we are still very much bullish. All right. So just with that being said, just going with the higher time frame momentum at the end of the day. Nothing to really overcomplicate here. Really simple setup. Glad it's playing out, right? Let's see what else we was able to do. Euro JPY, if I'm not mistaken, I went over this. This was like a swing trade. So I want to say I went over this last week on a weekly outlook. So Yo, JPY. I want to say that I gave this out last week. Let me double check. So yeah, it says Monday, Sunday. Yeah, I think I did go over this on the weekly outlook last week. As you can see, that played out perfectly. This move is complete. If you have anything left, it should be like maybe 10%, because the full totality of the move, or at least what I was looking for, has been completed. 275 pips, perfect entry, perfect exit. These are the type of trade setups that you look for, right? And again, you don't get them every single day, and that's okay, because when you get a 1 to 10, all right, you know, not only can you put yourself in a great advantage in terms of risk to reward, give yourself a nice cushion in terms of how much you're able to profit, even if you did take a couple losses prior to taking this trade, should have brought you back completely, or at least even had you in profit. So that looked really good. That one played out perfectly. Trying to see uh, right here. So it was the 8th. I'm trying to see what day the 8th was. Yeah, so that was on Monday. So I'm pretty sure I went over this last week as well. So definitely a nice trade setup. I'm glad it played out as anticipated. Moving forward, I personally think we can continue to drop. At this point, I don't really see an entry opportunity though, just due to the fact that it's already made majority of its move, right? And last but not least, GBP CAD, which actually came down and hit TP3, which I do have to update. I don't think I updated y'all on TP3, but this was also hit. Very nice setup overall. Just lower time frame distribution up in the highs. All right. Saw the market come up here, sweeping highs. Hezzy crossover to make new lows. Saw this area of imbalance within the buy to sell candle. So I knew that this was a prime area to take some trades. Saw the buy here. Saw the sell here. So I knew we had to come back up to this buy to close that position. So overall, that's exactly what I wanted to see happen. You see what market came up, hit that point perfectly, and then started to melt, right? So hit all three, take profits there. Moving forward, I do expect more bearishness just because I don't think that this market is done. But I'm satisfied on what I was able to do. Looking for the market to come a little bit lower, obviously, though. I do feel like we could probably get to this 1.706 area on GBP CAD. Once we get down to that 1.706, I'll be keeping my eyes open for the potential buy opportunities, just due to the fact that, this is a strong hezzy right here. Okay. If I just mark up supply zones, I do see a strong hezzy followed by a crossover bullish that actually ended up, breaking and clearing and making new highs, right? That low. So we did make a low here where we swept equal lows to the left. So not only did we take out sell side liquidity, we had a hezzy crossover and we took out the buy side liquidity as well. So I do think there's a potential that we come and make a higher low at 1.706. Once we come back down here, I wouldn't be surprised to see the market continue bullish. Overall, the higher time frame does, in my opinion, lean to be more on the bullish side of things, because we see the market's making higher highs, higher lows, right? Higher highs and higher lows. So I just want to see this trend sort of continue. And again, not overcomplicate this, just going based off of what I see, right? Overall, very nice sell move. I'm expecting a little more bearishness, and then we can return, go bullish at 706, right? So when that happens, I'll be looking for the market to make new highs. So we're looking at a minimum of like 180 pips. And realistically, I'm only going to risk like 25 or so, okay? So another nice setup loading up. Probably won't happen Sunday, I'm assuming, today, or probably not even tomorrow, but give it some time. Set your alerts, take note on these areas. The call is being recorded, so you'll be able to go back and look at these areas, and you'll be able to capitalize on that. All right. So far so good there. So now let's go ahead and hop into our favorites. GU. With the news release, I never actually executed on this trade. This setup was predicated on us not clearing out this high over here first. So once we cleared out that high, I wasn't really interested in that sell, or that buy. So don't let that markup confuse you. Sometimes I have markups, but when my target gets hit before my entry gets hit, the entry kind of becomes invalid. So didn't really take any trades on GU last week. I took a look at this sell and I didn't just push the button. I was so mad I didn't, because on a lower time frame, it actually gave me a price pattern that I wanted to see, but I didn't execute on it. But overall, market's been super bearish on GU lately. I've been trying to take longs on it. Haven't really been catching the sales, and the one that I could have caught, I don't know if I just hesitated or I was looking at something else, but as you can see, I have been attempting longs on GU recently, and they've been playing out from an intraday perspective, but the trend hasn't really been shifting long term. You know what I mean? So just gotta kind of keep my eye on that for this week and see if anything changes. Market is super bearish at the moment. So I'm gonna just continue to allow it to go bearish. Once we get into this area of inefficient price action, maybe we get a reaction down here, because we do just have a larger area of imbalance sitting there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a market react in that area. But bare minimum, I do think we'll go bearish. And once we get to this area, I can assess it a little better once we get there. All right. So far as EuroCAD is concerned, I don't really see much that interests me on EuroCAD, unfortunately. So, I'm not going to really waste time analyzing this pair. If anything, if we can, I'll just state the obvious. If we can come back down to this extreme low, that would be a good place to take a trade. We do have a hezi, okay, followed by our crossover. We come down to the 1 hour, we can see clear internal range liquidity. So if we can, push down a little bit lower, I would not be surprised at all to see that market return and go bullish, just because, this is the low of the range. This is the high of the range. We got all these weak lows in between, right? All these weak lows right here. But once we clear out all these weak lows, now we're in an area of demand right here. So when we clear out all the weak lows, then we get into an area of demand. That's when the market can reverse again. So, I would keep my eyes on that, on EuroCAD if I were you guys. The market has to be at least underneath 1.4604. Anything under that is fine with me. Best case scenario, you get down to the 458 area or below. But anything in this region is really doable. You just want to go to the lower time frame to see that reversal pattern, so that way you can get in an entry, on the 1 minute or the 3 minute to 5 minute, and actually execute the trade. So overall, I'm just looking for the market to come down to anywhere in this shaded zone and start to reverse from there. All right. So real similar to GCAD, we looking for temporary sales and then buys on both EuroCAD and GBP CAD. All right. Nas, I kind of been missing setups. Haven't really traded Nas in a little minute, right? It feels like it's been like a couple weeks, to be honest. But overall, I'd say probably bearish for now. I feel like if the market wanted to go bullish, I feel like it would have done it by now, especially after hitting these areas of demand. We hit an area of demand, didn't really break previous highs. We came back, didn't really break previous highs. Like even though we pushed higher right here, we still got highs to the left that's just been maintaining itself. The market's just been struggling to break out of this range. So for me, I'm leaning more towards the bear side of things, at least for now. Once we come and clear all of this noise and confusion, then I can probably switch my bias back to bullish. Because at the end of the day, Nas is always going to be predominantly bullish because that's just what indices are. You know, any indice that you look at over the course of time on a weekly chart, it's always going to be bullish. But, you know, you have these periods of time where you can get bearishness from it, whether it be a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, but eventually you're going to return back bullish. So for me, it's a lot of mess and confusion right here. I would like to just clear all of it out completely, right? Like getting underneath this low right here. So once we can clear all that noise out, you can buy with a little more confidence. You know, best case scenario, we get down to like 17.6, right? 17.6. But if we can get underneath 17.79, I feel like that'll be solid as well, right? So looking for a little short-term bearishness. We could potentially return bullish this week, all right? So UCAD has just been flying. I did indeed want to take a sell up here. And I mean, it was playing out, right? Don't get me wrong, it was playing out, but the market did return bullish for what news event was it? Was it CPI? It was I don't quite remember. But we did have a news event last week that really put a lot of volatility into the market where we just see a lot of bullishness on a USD CAD. Now overall, I'm not really interested at this at the moment just due to the fact that no the market does seem to be really overextended. So obviously I could probably see a sale coming at least intraday, but just for me, you know, it's just not a lot to go off of. You got a little bit of structure over here to the left, but it's not a lot to go off of. So for me, I'm gonna just kind of pass on USD CAD for now. You know, I had a nice little run with it the past few months, but um I'm personally cool on it moving forward. Gold is crazy because I wanted to take this sell on gold, and you know, that long wick came out of nowhere. So I didn't actually end up catching this move the way I had intended. I didn't physically enter this trade, but I was looking at it, you know, to come clear these highs and then potentially drop. But I just wasn't aware of, you know, the spike that was going to happen. I didn't expect, you know, a 300 pip spike to the upside. But you know, it did happen. Then the markets just melted. So you know, I did miss out on that setup, unfortunately, because I think the market dropped like what 700 pips or something. Oh, more than that. Wow. So, you know, huge drop off overall. To be honest, I would anticipate the market's gonna go back up, just due to the fact that there's a lot of stuff going on globally. Um, there's rumors that World War III is about to start, and you know, it ain't the first time we done heard this, you know. So whether it starts or not, who knows? But it's definitely some what do you call it? Some smoke in the air in terms of tension is high right now. You know, people launching missiles at each other and stuff like that. So anytime you have situations like this, gold is always something that people are going to start moving money to because it's a safe haven currency that, you know, or not currency, just a safe haven asset that people move their money into when they don't know what's going to go on with their country. They don't know what's going to go on with, you know, the war and stuff like that, because something can happen to a country that drastically affects their currency. So gold is that safe haven that people move their money into. Now, with that being said, you know, we did have a massive drop off. You know, it does look rather impulsive, but I still think that, you know, opportunities for longs because of the fundamental side of things, right? I am a technical trader. However, there's a few scenarios where, I kind of have to go based off of the temperature of the world versus, the technical analysis side of it. So any other time I'd be like, look, with this sharp fall off like this, we about to go bearish. Wait for a retracement, then sell. But considering that the world is a lot of people mad, angry, going to war, etc., I wouldn't be surprised to see us continue to make new highs. Because I really think gold just dropped like this because it is making all-time highs. So if we, go to the weekly chart, you see the market's never been this high before. So just with that, I mean, it looks like it's rising like a crypto, right? So just with that being said, it could be due to a large amount of people taking profit, right? And selling off their positions. But overall, I do think that this can return bullish, right? I'm not against that one bit. Okay. Let's take a quick look at these AUDs. Again, I am moving fast just because I do got some stuff I gotta take care of. I didn't catch this, by the way. I did get tapped out. This was one of the losses I took last week. Had my stop loss just a tad bit too small. If I would have, and this is why I now do option A and option B setups, because I'm personally aware that this can happen at any time. But when it comes to signals, I try not to confuse people by sending too many. But moving forward, I'm gonna have an option A signal and an option B signal. Option A will be here, considering that the market will probably make a lower high right here. And then you got option B, where the market, every now and then it just chooses to run through a high, and then you can get that entry back right there and make all your money back, right? So that's something that I'm gonna be doing moving forward. I've been experimenting with it for a while. I do think it'll be an excellent way to make money. Uh, just because all you got to do is be right in the direction. It takes a little bit of pressure off of you in terms of picking the perfect point of interest and stuff like that. Or I could just have a bigger stop loss, but I choose not to do that for obvious reasons of risk to reward. So AUDJPY, don't really see nothing there. Obviously missed out on that sell. Don't really see enough for a buy. Same with AUDCHF. Don't really see enough for a buy. AUDs are kind of overextended right now. This is another option B setup. Option A is the X. Option B is when we get in above that high. So option A is a lower high. Option B is a sweep of the high. Then we get in. So that was just another example of how moving forward we'll be able to execute our trade setups. We already went over EuroCAD. Already went over Euro JPY. Euro AUD, I definitely feel like this is going to continue to go up long term. All right. The market did come down, respect this area of demand. We got nice sell to buy candles here. We do have a heavy crossover that produces internal range liquidity for us. And we have came and cleared out that internal range liquidity nicely. Okay. So just with that being said, I do expect this market to continue bullish. All right. From this moment forward, now we just need a decent enough retracement to get our entry. So we see a 4-hour sell to buy candle there. We come on to the 1 hour. We could see if we see any more details. Drop down to the 30-minute. Okay. 15. I do see a slight hezzy here as well. Okay. So now I can go ahead and refine this zone down a little bit. So I see a hezzy cross over here. Also see an area of imbalance right here. Okay. So let's really look at it like this. I got lows right here. And the market comes and takes out sell side liquidity. Okay. As we sweep lows, we are on our way back up. We hesitate, cross over. So now I got internal range liquidity. The market comes back, respects, takes off. All right. So for me, $22 pip stop. At least 120 pips for the TP. All right. So this is definitely a trade setup that I would take if I were you guys. You're looking at 6398. Okay, 1.6398. 1.3, or excuse me, 1.6398. 1.6398. I'm looking to take buys on Euro AUD at that level. Okay. Call is being recorded, so you'll get a chance to look that back over if you need to. Nothing on Euro Chef. Nothing on Euro GBP. It's always a mess. I do believe Euro NZD is going to continue bullish, but I'd rather trade Euro AUD. So I ain't got to spend too much time there. Not much there. We already talked about GCAD. Nothing much there. We talked about GN as well. Should already be in that trade. Obviously the DXY is continuing its bullish push. I think now we should probably be looking at the 106.5 area, 106.5 region, somewhere up there. So yeah, I'm expecting some bullishness to start the week. Let's look for, late Monday, Tuesday to start getting potential sell-offs. In the DXY, I do say potential because the market could just keep going. So we'll see. All right. Take a quick glance at NZDs, and we can keep it pushing. Yeah, nothing much, guys. Nothing much here. Nothing much here. So I would be looking at Euro AUD right away. There's a couple more. I'd be looking at Euro AUD for something you could probably take today. If not, maybe tomorrow at the latest. But I think Euro AUD is a setup that is going to probably be the first one to hit. All right. These other ones, just give it some time. Give it some time to wake up. Give it some time to produce a little more price action, like Euro CAD and GBP CAD. That's probably going to take a little more time. I'll probably be looking at this more towards, tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. With Euro AUD, I think that can happen potentially tonight. All right. So again, quick little blitz call. I know this call is real quick compared to others. But again, I do have some errands I need to run. So I did just want to make sure I hopped on here, knocked it out quick. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Today's gonna be an excellent day. Like I said, Drake won the rap beef, so I'm in a great mood. About to go hang out. I got some errands to run, hang out with some family. Just enjoy the Sunday before the week gets going. So again, I do appreciate y'all for tuning into this call. If there's any comments, questions, concerns that you have for me, feel free to reach out. I'll be glad to help you guys. Until next time, much love and peace.